In this video, you are going to learn how to shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset in pursuit of your goals. And this is an exercise that can be quite powerful if you actually take the time to write it out. So take some time to yourself, slow down, and run through this exercise, okay? But I want to start with a question. Why do you put your goals above you? Why do you put your goals way up there, out of reach? There's this aura around it, this end all be all. Well, I can tell you that it's not necessarily your fault, okay? And this is our conditioning, and it's strong. I want you to notice how you think about your goals. You most likely only think about the positives around your goals. But there's also some negative aspects of achieving your goals, right? Yeah, we don't think about those. We don't think about those. There's an imbalance there. There's a radical imbalance there. And this is the story of people achieving everything that they could have imagined, but still being miserable. Because they got there out of scarcity, out of neediness, out of the endless scramble for more. So we want to remove that, right? We don't want that to be you. And when I first came across this exercise, it completely broke my belief system around my goals. And there was this reframing process that took place. I felt a real lightening effect. And the thing is about your thought patterns and the things that you believe, your belief system, it can be a difficult thing to recognize because a lot of this can be unconscious. So it's always better to have someone listen to you as well and to work with you on those. So why is this important? Why do we want to remove the pedestal here? Well, with this exercise, I want you to think of one big goal that you are going after right now. Okay? One big goal. And this is important. It has to be the one that's most important to you. So let's take that goal off the pedestal and bring it down to earth. And if we get creative with this for a second, this is you. This is you right now. Your goal is up here. Okay? And we like to put that on a pedestal. We like to put that above us. What this exercise is set up to do is to knock that pedestal off and bring that thing down. Bring it down to earth and bring it to your playing field. And we're going to be doing that in a very specific way. But first, I want to go over who this video is for, because that's important. And really, this video is for a past version of myself. Because if you would have shown me this video a year ago, that would have been nice. That would have been nice. And I come from the SMMA space. I'm working online here. Maybe you can resonate with some of these things that you're feeling. This is what I think of when making this video. Maybe you have a neediness to outcome. Maybe you have a few clients, but you feel stuck in your work. Maybe you're working 8 to 12 hours per day on your marketing service because someone online told you to. Maybe you're hopping between different business tactics and strategies, hoping to find the one that'll do it. Maybe you feel lost, highly stressed, unclear on the path moving forward, and just looking for some guidance. Maybe you feel limited by beliefs, fears, and self-doubt. Okay, I feel you on that. I feel you on that completely. So why is this work relevant? Why is what we're doing here relevant? Well, isn't it interesting how you hear this from all these high performers and successful people? People who have brought real freedom into their lives, okay, and have made an impact. It always starts and ends with mindset. But somehow we spend so little time on the internal and we focus so much time on the external. So I'd like you to take a look at this quote here from Tony Robbins. This sums it up nicely. Success is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. But somehow this feels flipped. Somehow this feels like 20% psychology and 80% mechanics. We want to focus on the next strategy. We want to focus on the next thing. But we don't want to look at the common denominator being ourselves. Another quote that I like, and this is one of my favorite ones. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's incredible. And this is all addressing the mental space, the internal world, how we think about things. So where do we want to go from here? In terms of the online business world, we want to focus on what's really important, and that is your quality of life at any given moment. Ah, beautiful. We want to create clarity and ease for ourselves on the way to our goals. So maybe you can resonate with some of these things. The old way, the neediness to close the deal, working 8 to 12 hours per day on what, right? A scarcity mindset of competing with others, a full schedule, no free time, and frantically stressed about your work. Really unclear on the path moving forward. Versus the new way of doing online business, which is a detachment from outcome. Nice. Working 3 to 6 hours per day, right? Sounds more human, less bot-like. Having an abundance mindset of creativity. So we're leaving the competitive playing field and we're moving to the creative playing field. You're moving from competing for the things in your life to creating the things in your life. From scarcity to abundance. From a mode of competition, of finite resources, to creation. That is an important shift. And this sounds a lot healthier, right? You have time for deep work, free time, operating from flow and ease. And this takes us to the actual exercise now, okay? So we need to take the goal, the desire, and we need to remove the scarcity and neediness around it. And this is great. We have this big goal, we have this big fantastical thing, and let's balance it out. Let's balance it out. And maybe you can see where I'm going with this. And of course, it's always better to write these things out. So please take 20 minutes to yourself and actually write this out. Because 99% of people won't take the time for themselves. Don't be that person that is incapable of sitting still and taking 20 minutes for themselves to write out exactly what they want. So I call this here removing the pedestal. Removing the pedestal. This is a detachment exercise. We have a desire, right? We have a desire. And let me just put, as an example, quit my 9 to 5. Perfect. Perfect. And it has to be the one big goal of yours. That's important. It has to be the one big goal. So I just put quit my 9 to 5 as an example here. And when I started my digital marketing service, this was a big one that I had in mind. This was a big one that I had in mind. But of course, right, like everyone, I focused on all the positives of this happening. And I wanted it really badly, but I had this neediness around it that was unhealthy. I felt like I was trying to rush it. And I actually had a point where I quit, and then I came back, and then I naturally let it happen again. And it did. We have this goal, and what comes to mind when you think about this goal that you have here? What comes to mind? Well, naturally, all of the positive things, all of the great things, the positive aspects come to mind. And it creates this imbalance. It creates this great imbalance. So, let's go up here, and we can write these out. And let's write out a few of the positive aspects of quitting the job. So, one might be, well, you're going to be doing work that you love, or at least like. Okay, so awesome. Awesome, cool. That's a plus for sure. Another thing is maybe you'll be working from home now. Maybe you'll be working from home, right? Sounds nice. Be at home, make food at home, more free time, right? More relaxing maybe. Cool. That's a plus. Another one, let's go to your schedule. I mean, if you think about your schedule, you're going to be having an open schedule of your own. Never had that before, probably. Beautiful. Cool. Okay. Sounds nice. And generally, we think about these things. So maybe you can see where I'm going with this. We need to balance this out, right? We need to balance this out. We need to think about some of the negatives now. And when was the last time that someone asked you, what are the negative aspects of achieving your big goal? We never think about that. I can almost guarantee you, no one has asked you that question. So, let's go over some of the negative things. But when we think about your work, right, and doing the work that you love or like, there's an added responsibility with that. For sure. There's some added weight there, right? Some uncertainty. So let me just attempt to draw a barbell to say added weight, added responsibility. Okay? How about working from home? Okay, working from home sounds cool. But, one of the things I didn't really realize or think about with working from home, it can be a bit isolating. It can get quite lonely, if I'm being honest with you. But we don't think about that. Okay? And let's go to another one with our schedule. Right? This stuff is fun here. I like doing this stuff. Let's go to our schedule again. Well, if you've never had an open schedule to yourself, if you've always had a schedule where someone has told you, show up at this time, leave at this time, this can be kind of a mess to begin with. Like, I have all this time on my own thing. Like, what do I work on? What kind of things are most important to work on? How do I structure my day? What is work? All these questions come up. And this uncertainty arises. It's like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that one. Didn't think about that one either. And in doing this exercise and writing this out, okay, naturally we can see that they balance each other out nicely. And this isn't to say don't go after your goals, but this is a powerful tool to build a better relationship with your desires. This can create a lot healthier relationship with what you're doing. It relieves some of that tension. Like, oh yeah, there is both sides of the coin. You can let go of the neediness around it. Like, oh yeah, I don't need to make it this magical thing that's going to solve all my problems. Like, yes, go after those things. Set that intention, right? Write it out. Go after those. And of course, this applies not only to your work, but also to your life that you can carry with you. And that's the power of doing this work. With this exercise, we are addressing the yin and the yang, both sides of the coin. We are removing that aura. We're kicking out that pedestal, and we're bringing it down to us, enabling us to receive it. So another visual here, right? This is how it looked before. Your desire absolutely creating that imbalance. And now we balance that thing out and bring it down to earth. One thing I would like to say as well is that if you are interested in going deeper with this work, I will leave a link down below to this video, and you can book in a call with me to see if there's an opportunity to work one-on-one. I've had a few different experiences with my own marketing agency and working online where I actually had a 6-month period that I went with working with just one client. And during that time, I couldn't seem to get another client. It was like there was something blocking me. I went over 6 months working with just one client. Like, why couldn't I get another client? It was the weirdest thing. And after more than 6 months, I started working with a coach, and I ended up having this 10-day period where I made almost $6,000. I made almost $6K in like 10 days. And I never experienced anything like that before. So that time baffled me a little bit. It felt like a combination of committing to working one-on-one with someone, addressing my limiting beliefs, having someone listen to me, and doing the work. So if you'd like to explore more of this work, like I mentioned, it would be a pleasure to speak more with you, and you can book in a time down below on my calendar link. If you actually took the time as well to do this exercise that we did here, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So, I appreciate you and see you soon. Thanks.